Hello everyone, I'm RiverFox. Welcome to another Back to Basics video. Now, we are going to be going over our Plankerton Storm Shield Defense number 7 today. Now, if you have been following this series, then you should probably know by now that I do have two brand new accounts which I'm working through on the quest lines and SSDs. And in that, I'm trying to cover as many of the amplifiers as we can. Now, up until SSD number 8, which will be our next one, you pretty much only have the choice of one or the other amplifier to place at any given time. Now for SSD number 7, you won't need to place a new amplifier. On SSD number 8, you will need to place a new amplifier. So we will leave that for the moment. We'll get into that later on. But for this one, for SSD number 7, it's pretty much going to be the same builds as before. But I have made a few slight changes on my 4th account. My 3rd one, it's pretty much the same. I haven't made any changes whatsoever on that one. But I do have some slightly higher level traps on there. Whereas on this 4th account, I'm kind of limited. I don't have as good a traps on here as I do on the other account. So I had to make a couple of changes and level, some things up a little bit. So for this one, now we still haven't placed this amplifier up here on this account. And for the home base, they do spawn from over the north and from the east for SSD7. Now, as I've said before, this is my endurance build, so there will be links in the description for that. Do go and check that out. That will tell you exactly how to build that. And it will be overkill for SSDs, don't get me wrong, but it will be there, ready, done, sorted for when you do your endurance. And apart from changing traps up and putting higher level traps on, you won't need to make any other changes to it. So do go and check that one out. Now, we also get attacked from the east quite a bit on the home base because we haven't placed this amplifier up here yet. I don't know yet which amplifier I'm going to place on which account. I do want to try and cover as many of them as I can. So I've already done some in the past, so we'll try and do different ones for this time. So for this one, when they do spawn for the home base, they are going to spawn up over here along the top. They'll spawn anywhere along this area, and you will get some that will spawn around down there as well. Now, I did go through majority of what I've done in the last one, SSD6. These are just to stop the spawn point for that direction for that amplifier, so don't worry too much about those. But majority are going to want to come over this way and down here. So we do have this natural sort of platform here, so I've just added a couple of traps on here, some wall darts and a couple of retractable floor spikes on the floor, just to try and deal a little bit of damage before they get in. Now, I did add in a few extra rows of traps for the home base itself, because I was finding, especially with smashers, that they were getting too close in and starting to cause some damage along the very back walls. So what we've done, we've just got a couple of wall launchers set up to fling them into boxes, do some damage in there. And yeah, it's nothing, nothing major, just some broadsides, ceiling electric fields. We've got retractable floor spikes, tar pits to slow them down, some launchers, things like that. So nothing too fancy, but just a little extra to help deal some damage on it. Now, next up, we've got what is my case amplifier C, which is this one over here, and on your map is down here. Now, for this one, they can get attacked from pretty much any direction. Again, because we haven't placed this amplifier, they can come from the north, the east, and the south. So for this one, again, they will spawn around this direction, head over here. This one is pretty much exactly the same as SSD number 6. Just a couple of traps up here just to try and catch them as they come in, and some tunnels and things here and timeout rooms just to take care of them from there. So I'm not going to go into it too much detail because I already covered that in the last one. Over from the south, I've made no changes from this one pretty much. The only thing I did do, which I don't know if it was a bug or whether I just forgot. On SSD6, I didn't have any ceiling electric fields up here, and I can't remember if I just didn't place them or if they're disappearing, which seems to be happening a lot recently. So I've added those in, but apart from that, nothing else has changed. They are going to spawn around this section over here, so they'll head over here. I did manage to get in a little bit of a sort of block off up here, just to sort of prevent them from wanting to come up this natural ramp, which would mean that they will go straight over to our amplifiers. So I did manage to get that in there. That, I don't know if I could have placed it, or I think the barrier was in the way, so I couldn't place that one for the last one, so don't worry too much there. But that's all pretty much the same as well. The other direction they come from is the east, which seems to be the most common direction, and this one they're going to spawn all the way back over there with those trees. Your barrier will be a bit closer here, so you won't be able to build any more. I haven't made any other changes here apart from adding in the few extra traps here that we couldn't place last time. One thing I might recommend is just to actually add in an extra little bit of block off along here. I did find that they were trying to break through these structures here to get out, so it might be an idea just to place a little extra bit on there, just to make them walk around and go this way to come down. I mean, if they do break through, then they have got the option, they can walk across some of this to get straight to the amplifier, so you want to make sure they don't go through there. Other than that, no other changes for this amplifier. That is exactly the same then as it was before. Amplifier A over here from the south, which they will spawn from the south, and for this one, this is my endurance builds. I've got round to finally building up my endurance builds for this one, so again, check in the description, that will give you all of the links for that, and you can have a step-by-step video show you how to make that one. That should be pretty fine. And let's have a look. Next one we've got is this one over here, which is our amplifier D, one of the newer ones we placed. I will at some point, possibly before the next one we do, I might do my endurance build on this one as well, because that one works really well and is great for getting rid of them quickly. This side over here, the only difference I added on here, just 2 extra traps down here to get some damage as they come up, and 2 extra traps up there to catch them as they come up as well. And now that the barrier has moved a little bit further, we were able to block this natural ramp off up here as well. Just a couple of wall darts on there and some block off, just to stop them coming up this ramp, because what they were doing is coming up here, and when I was standing over this point there, they were just coming over to me and attacking me and causing me problems. So we managed to block that bit off. Other than that, no other changes to this amplifier either. Same pretty much over here. The only change I've made on here, I did add in a few extra little bits along here, because I was finding especially the husky husks were really getting down here, just running straight across all of this, coming all the way around here, which this is where they will all head to, by the way, and they were just bashing at this wall. They were sort of pretty much not really taking much damage from these traps, because they're not the greatest of traps, you know, they don't really have the greatest of perks and things on them. So I added a few extra rows in here of just some broadsides, retractable spikes and things, just to cause some more damage to them and take them out from there, and it pretty much does the job. Now this one over here, this direction, I haven't made any changes to this yet, and I'm going to have a look before I start my SSD 8, whether I'm going to place this amplifier on this account or on my other account, because I don't know, the other account I've got slightly better traps and things on there, so I've got more chance of being able to do some damage. I've never placed this amplifier ever in all the time I've been playing Save the World, so it's going to be a challenge definitely for me to get it built up and AFKable. Considering I've never placed it before, I don't know where the spawn points come from. Only once I think I've ever seen someone that has actually placed this, so yeah, that'll be a challenge, but that'll be on the next video. And pretty much really from there, there's no other changes that I've made at all. Everything is exactly as it was before. I've got the same traps and things in there. They are nothing fancy, but it should get you through your SSD number 7 anyway, and you shouldn't have any problems. As I said, with my traps here, I mean, the perks that I've got on these traps, you know, they're not even fully leveled up. I've got, best I've got is blue roll perks on them, so yeah, it should be perfectly fine. I'm not going to go into the other account this time because, as I said, I've made no changes in that one at all. So if you've been keeping check on the previous SSDs, then you'll be able to follow through the builds from those ones anyway. There shouldn't be any issue. So I hope it does help you out. If it does, don't forget to hit the like, smash subscribe, use code RiverFox in the Fortnite store. Don't forget to check in the description. There will be lots of links in there for all of the other AFK and endurance builds and everything that you need to know, as will these videos up here. But until the next one, hope you have a lovely day and stay safe, my friends.